Collective Energy Check-In. Welcome to Kaide Tarot. Let's drop in. I've already shuffled and laid out the cards, so we're going to see what's here for you today. And as always, take what resonates with your spirit and let the rest fall to the wind. Today I'm going to weave in the astrological weather we're moving through as well, so we can understand not just what's happening, but why it feels the way it does right now. There's my tappy toes little dog you hear in the background. So right now we are in Scorpio season, and both Mercury and Mars are in Scorpio together. Not exact today, but sharing the same emotional territory. So that brings emotional honesty, internal clarity, and a willingness to release what no longer feels true. And the moon is actually in Sagittarius, which opens the window to relief, perspective, and the return of possibility after like a deep emotional shift. So that sets this tone for this reading that came out this morning perfectly. So we begin with the Coffin. So we begin with an ending, basically. Something in your life has completed its chapter, and it feels quiet, not dramatic or explosive, just done. This could be a pattern or like a pattern of emotional effort, a storyline you lived inside of, or a version of yourself that you no longer need to be. This matches the Scorpio energy. So Scorpio removes what is no longer aligned, not as a punishment, but as a release. So this is not a loss. This is making space. And then moving on to the Child card, as something ends, something new begins, but it's subtle. This is subtle and it's gentle. It's a return to a more innocent expression of yourself. Not naive, but unburdened. This is like the version of you that does not perform to be loved. This is the version of you who knows the essence of your value. And you know the essence of your value simply because it exists. So this is your emotional reset, your clear breath. This is you before the world told you who you were. And then next in line is the Tower. And this Tower card, it's a little different. It's not a collapse. Like this is perspective. So it's like a viewpoint, okay? Imagine being at the top of the Eiffel Tower. So this is a moment you step back, not to disconnect, but to see clearly. You've pulled away from the noise long enough to recognize like what is real versus what was coping, habit, or attachments. And with Mercury and Mars in Scorpio, that supports this because they bring emotional truth into focus without apology, without negotiation. This is clarity without chaos. And then moving on to the Clover card. So here's where the light starts to return. A small moment of relief, a shift in the air, like a softening, a lightness in your chest. This is like the moon in Sagittarius. It's the expression after the release. The sense that there is life beyond the old story. And it's the reminder that movement is possible again. So this is not like a dramatic breakthrough. It is the moment where you realize that you are no longer carrying the same weight. Hope returns quietly. It's very, very peaceful, calming feeling. And then the bottom of the deck, we had the lily for the underlying tone. So this is maturity, wisdom, emotional stability. This is like the version of you who chooses peace, not because you're avoiding depth, but because your depth is now internalized, and you don't need intensity to feel alive. This is the calm of someone who trusts themselves now. You don't chase, you don't prove, you meet what meets you. You meet what meets you. And then for the Clarifier card that I took from a different deck, I kind of want to explain this deck first. So the first cards were all Lenormand cards, which are symbolic, and those came from that deck. So those are all symbolic, grounded, speaking to the lived emotional moment. But this final card comes from a traditional French Cartomancy system. So it's an older lineage, like they're direct and they're honest. And these cards reveal the underlying pattern, the emotional like contract beneath the situation. And this is the King of Spades cards. So this is internalized authority, the old rule set, the inherited voice that once shaped your behavior. I think of this like, okay, be easy, don't need too much, make yourself likable, earn love by being manageable, like the people pleaser card. So this is the conditioning that kept you small, not because you were weak, but because you were trying to be acceptable. And this is the part that is ending. So the coffin closes that chapter. The child restores the original self. Tower gives you clarity. The clover brings sweet relief. And the lily anchors the peace. So you're not becoming harder, you're becoming truer. Soft where softness is real, strong where strength is chosen. You're no longer performing your worth, but living it out. So this is your new chapter, and it's already unfolding in you. So yeah, this is such a cool reading. It started off, just to give you a little backstory this morning, I was thumbing through an old notebook and I saw a postcard I picked up in Paris, my favorite musical. I always keep those together. And then I remembered these two decks and asked Spirit for a message for the collective. And these cards came out perfectly aligned with, I feel, the astrological deep Scorpio weather that's taking place right now. So I hope you enjoyed this. I really loved this message. Thank you for tuning in to Kaide Tarot. Please like and subscribe for a deeper connection. I'm going to link or post the subscription link in the comments below, and I would love to connect and hear from you. Thank you.